Good morning, class. I'm Casey, and this is my demonstration of my project for the Introduction to Digital Logic course at the University of California. What I decided to do is I wanted to implement a Geyser controller, which I think you guys in the States call it a hot water heater, but here in South Africa we call it a geyser. And all this system really does is it just turns the geyser on and off at certain times that have been decided by the user. What I wanted to do is I used the Altera FPGA because I actually haven't done any FPGA work before, and I haven't done any work in Verilog before. So I thought it would be a nice challenge to try and get a system working in using Verilog and some implemented on some actual hardware. So what I want to show you quickly is these four buttons here are the four buttons that I'm going to use to control the system. What the four buttons do is actually displayed on the bottom of the screen, which I'll zoom into now, but I just want you to remember that those four buttons are what we're using, what I'm pressing to control the system. So let's zoom in and start with the display. So basically, when you start the system up, you'll come up to this display here. And as you can see, it asks the user to just set the on time of when the geyser is supposed to turn on. So for this demonstration, I've actually just changed the minutes counter in my project to just count seconds, just so that it's not long and boring. So here we go. If I click up, I'm basically clicking the up button, as you can see. So let's say we want to set it on at 5 seconds. If I click the left button, it moves around, and you can see that the user only has one exit option, which is the save. So let's save that. Now it goes to the off time. Let's set that to 10. So I'm going to click the left button to go to the next digits, the up button to go to 1, and let's save that. The clock is initially set at 00, and what I've done is these 7-segment displays down here is also showing the clock because I just want to demonstrate something that happens a bit later in the board. So let's save the set time, and we should see that this LED would come on at the time that we set. This LED is basically simulating the geyser output, because what I would generally do is I'd connect this system out to a relay or something like that, which would just control power to the geyser. I'm living in a rented house, so I don't want to actually interfere with the geyser at all. So I thought that's the easiest way to do it. So let me click the save button quickly, and we'll see the time start moving. And at 5 seconds, our geyser should come on. There we go. And at 10 seconds, it should go off. Boom, there we go. So I've implemented some other functionality. What this sign here is, the third button, I've implemented a geyser, like a quick heat button. So if the geyser is in its auto state and if it's in its off state, if you press that button, it will turn on for 30 seconds. So let me just turn on now. And you can see that it's busy flashing and the geyser's on at the moment. I turned it on at 30 seconds, so it should turn off at 1 minute. We'll just wait a few seconds for that. And then I'll just show you the last few bits of functionality that I added into the system. And that should be the demonstration. So almost there. I should have maybe made it a little shorter for the demonstration, but anyway. And there we go, the geyser turns off again. I've also implemented a manual override. So you see this here is supposed to correspond to button 4. And if I press that, it goes into manual mode, and you can see the geyser's off now, and I can turn it on and off and on and off and on. And let's say I leave it in on. If I switch back down to auto mode, currently the geyser's in its off mode. So it turns off again. So let's turn it to manual mode. It's on, off, on. Also, you can scroll through the screens from here, and this is what I wanted to show you, is that the clock and everything else continues to operate in the background. So if we go to the on time, here you can see what on time was set, so I can change that now if I wanted to. And as you can see, the difference now is that we can carry on scrolling through the screens, whereas in our initialization sequence, we were forced to save a value into the save time. If I press up again, then I go to my off time, Then I can set my time again, and just notice that what it did is it pulled in the current time, just so it makes it a bit easier for the user to change things. And like I said before, I mean, if I want to change this, I can change the first digit. I can go to the next digit, also change that. That one just rolls over from 5. So it controls that we enter in a correct time. If I go to the next one, this is basically just a 24-hour counter. So you'll see when it gets to 23, it will roll over to 0 again, and then the user can save and all of that. At this case, I don't want to save. At this stage, I don't want to save, so I'm just going to exit out. And if we go back round, we'll see that, you know, nothing has happened with the time at all. So that's basically the project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please send some questions in that, and I'm going to upload the code shortly. Thanks a lot. Cheers.